Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. A beautiful, beautiful Wednesday evening here at the beautiful St. Thomas campus. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us tonight. It is a beautiful night, I must say. It's hard to come in and stay indoors when outside is so beautiful. So thank you all so much for joining us this evening. My name is Laura Lee, and I am so delighted to be your MC this year for St. Thomas Day. I always say this because I'm a huge advocate for 360, which is a journalism program here at St. Thomas. But anytime I get asked to do anything for St. Thomas, my answer is always yes. Sign me up. I'm so proud to be a Tommy. For those of you who don't know me, I am a graduate of St. Thomas. I graduated from St. Thomas in 2007 from the broadcast journalism program. And I didn't let 2 pregnancies here on campus stop me from pursuing my dreams. I was a young but very ambitious young woman, and I was given a huge opportunity to study here. And so I wasn't going to throw that away. And I knew that my journey was going to be a little harder with 2 babies on the way. But walking on campus, pregnant or not, I was going to make it to class and I was going to get that degree. And my 2 very special guests, those 2 girls, are here with me today. They're in the back over there, my daughters, Nev and Hallie. I wanted them to be here because they're so important to my journey here at St. Thomas. But I also wanted to introduce them to this wonderful St. Thomas community that we're all so proud of. Being on campus, walking into campus today, this evening, the girls were able to kind of explore a little bit of what Mom used to do, and seeing all these students out there, it's just beautiful. There is this pride in all of us when we think about what happens inside these walls on this beautiful campus. It's hustling and bustling, this major city, and yet here on this campus there is a kind of quiet peacefulness, a focus that I think, and a huge sense of pride that I think we all have being Tommies here. And so I did study broadcast journalism. I graduated with a degree, and for the past 15 years, I've worked for Hubbard Broadcasting here in the Twin Cities at KSTP, for the last 13 years at their sister station down in Rochester, Minnesota as an evening anchor. And right now I'm going through a huge transition in my career as well, now leaving the company and joining the Northern News Now team up in Duluth Superior. And it's a scary time sometimes when you make a change like that. You know, it's a scary thing to do. And when you're moving 4 kids as a single mom to a whole new community, it's scary, but sometimes in that fear you find yourself, kind of. You realize that you can do anything you set your mind to. And you kind of find your inspiration, and you're inspired to do those things. And you're going to be inspired tonight by hearing the stories of 6 amazing Tommies. And I'm going to introduce you to those people this evening. We have a wonderful night planned for all of you. And again, I want you to realize how important it is that all of you have the same power to inspire every day as well, in your own communities, in your own neighborhoods, in your own departments, on this wonderful campus. You'll be meeting 6 amazing individuals. A beloved Tommy, he's quite a guy, who has quite a devoted legacy, devoting his career and his life to Tommy athletics and education for more than 70 years. You'll also learn from a humanitarian. She's taken her St. Thomas mission to Haiti and Sri Lanka, rebuilding areas devastated by disaster, but also rebuilding hope in those communities as well. You can witness a real estate developer that has built not only a legacy, but a foundation for success in the Twin Cities area and to better our communities because of it. You'll also meet an independent journalist who is sharing her voice far and wide, creating diversity and the need for it and why it's so important in our society. You'll also meet a professor challenging gender limitations in Latin American culture and in opening our eyes to diversity and equity in the classrooms. And you'll also meet a Tommy student who I had the privilege of sharing her story. She's made a huge impact on this campus. And she has this ability to just inspire the desire to create sustainability in our everyday lives. Easy steps that all of us can do. So you'll be able to meet all of these people coming up. But before we meet those individuals, I'd like to introduce someone very important up to the stage to kick off the program. This is also another Tommy. Ashley Bailey Chang is our current Alumni Advisory Board President. Ashley graduated from St. Thomas in 2012 with a degree in political science and has served on the Alumni Board since 2017. Ashley's board term will be coming to an end this year, and we want to celebrate her 6 years of service. So Ashley, we're so grateful for your leadership, and thank you for everything you've done to make this program so great. Of course, we also want to acknowledge that she is doing this gracefully because she's balancing that and being a new mom and a full-time practicing attorney. So please join me in welcoming me up to the stage, Ashley Bailey Chang.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to kick off this program by introducing you. Sorry, everyone. There we go. Thank you, Laura. It's been a pleasure to serve on the Alumni Board. I'm honored to be with everyone here tonight as we celebrate our amazing St. Thomas community and recognize that we all have the ability to inspire change in the world. We had a record number of nominations this year, more than 60 for these awards. Our St. Thomas community is strong, and Tommies are making a positive impact in their communities and across the globe. I'm so proud to be a Tommy. As you grow through your own life's journey, and St. Thomas continues to grow as a university, I invite you to find a place of greater meaning and connection with St. Thomas. One of the concepts we talk often is the 5 T's: time, talent, testimony, ties, and treasure. You may be in a place in life to give back to our students or to other alumni. The mission of St. Thomas is to advance the common good. And if that resonates with you, even in a small way, like having a career conversation with a student or talking with a family that is considering enrolling their high schooler at St. Thomas, please reach out to our alumni team. We have many ways for you to engage more deeply with St. Thomas. Here to share more about St. Thomas and the changes he sees Tommies making in communities across the country is our new president, Rob Vischer. President Vischer has been with St. Thomas for 18 years, first as a member of the law school faculty, then as dean of the law school. He served as interim president for 7 months before being named the 16th president at the University of St. Thomas. Please join me in welcoming President Vischer.
Good evening and welcome. This is among the most important evenings we celebrate every year. I want to explain why it's so important through a brief story, so bear with me. When I was 12, I started a fantasy football league. Now, this was a long time ago. This was before fantasy football became a craze. This was also before it was all computerized and you could just get programs to run your results. So every Monday morning, I would have to spend hours pouring through the box scores in the newspaper, tallying up scores. I also had to recruit teams for the Fantasy Football League from family and relatives. I persuaded my grandmother, Danelle, to have a team in my Fantasy Football League. That took all the powers of persuasion I could muster. I put a ton of work into this Fantasy Football League. Why did I do that? Because I wanted a trophy. I desperately wanted a trophy. These were the days before everybody got participation trophies for being in sports. My trophy collection was very meager, and I wanted a trophy. And so I put in all these hours. I got a trophy out of it. I could never have been happier. So if you brought 12-year-old me to tonight and you asked me, so why does this evening matter? Why are we doing this? I would have said, oh, because people can get trophies. It's about the trophies. Now, with a little bit more life experience, I look at this evening and say, it's not about the trophies. In fact, I know for sure that the 6 honorees don't need more trophies. They're not in it for the trophies. In fact, I think it's safe to say that this evening is primarily not about them and what they need. It's about what we need, because we need to be reminded of why our mission matters and what the mission of the University of St. Thomas looks like out in the world. The mission of St. Thomas is not just a statement in a glossy brochure. The mission of St. Thomas gains power because real men and women have decided that they're going to lean into it, that they're going to live a life for others, that they're going to, what we tell our students, that they're going to figure out how their gifts connect with the world's needs. If the mission matters to St. Thomas, the mission has to matter to who and what we honor. So as you hear the stories of our honorees tonight, I hope it encourages and inspires you, but I hope it also reminds you, this is why we are connected by this community. This is why so many people contribute so much to making sure that we're shaping future generations of leaders. These 6 honorees, they're reminders. Thank you for being here, and I'm going to call Father Collins up to the podium now for a blessing.
Thank you very much. I think this guy's giving me a run for the money on the preaching circuit here. Very moving. I'd never heard the story before about the trophies. What a gift to be able to be together here. Let's take a little moment and allow our hearts to be filled with gratitude, especially for, as we're telling stories this evening and memories being called back to us, we call to mind the people especially who have made such a difference in our lives. Those who have loved us, those who have shown us how to love, some of whom are in this room, some are in our memories. And that's above all what gives us the motivation to continue to serve and transform the world that we are in. So, Lord, we thank you for this chance to be together in your presence and called into your friendship and with friendship with one another. We ask the abundant gift of your Spirit to be upon us this evening. Fill us with gratitude. Bless the food that we're about to receive and our conversation. May all of it lift us up to be of greater service to you and to your people. And bless those who have prepared this meal and those who go without. Keep us always attentive to their needs and use us in their service. We pray all this in your name. Amen. And bon appetit.
Hello. Good evening. I hope you all enjoyed that delicious dinner provided for us this evening. Thank you so much again. We're going to get the program started now because we have some wonderful people to bring up on stage to honor tonight. Of course, we're here to honor our wonderful recipients on St. Thomas Day. To give everyone a little history lesson, St. Thomas Day is named for our university's patron, St. Thomas Aquinas, who was known as a universal teacher for his moral virtues, prudence, justice, fortitude, and temperance. St. Thomas's actual feast day is actually in January, but we are pleased to celebrate it in May, and thankfully so. I did slip my meteorologist some money to give us this beautiful day today, and so we are so happy you guys could help me here on this gorgeous day to do this celebration. Now we want to talk and honor about our 6 honorees this evening. They inspire us to see how giving back is the work of our lifetimes. We will see how these 6 honorees who walk in his spirit and teach us through their actions. And as President Vischer mentioned, it's the people that carry on the St. Thomas mission that make this mission what it is and makes it come to life, because it's that inspiration that you do out there that allows people to see what St. Thomas is all about. To witness and contribute to the common good and make the common good a lasting legacy, we're going to see who these 6 recipients are and what they've done for our community. Now, some of these honorees, they create these brave spaces in the classrooms, equipping students with tools to drive a more inclusive society for all. Or some of these honorees are teaching us to be stewards of the earth while forging compassionate relationships, forwarding sustainability and meaningful encounters. All of these recipients you're about to meet embody these accomplishments. And they also show us the same spark for change and the same desire to recognize that our shared humanity is within all of us. I'd like to invite President Vischer and Ashley again back to the stage as we distribute awards tonight to our honorees. Once again, once you receive your award, we ask that you pause and take a photo before leaving the stage. Our first honoree, I had the privilege of meeting, and boy, was I inspired by her. She is young, but she has so much wisdom. She embodies the mission of this university in so many ways, paving her own path of inspiration, compassion, and commitment to serving others. Senior Katie McInnes, an environmental science major, has combined her love of science with her love of faith, inspiring others as she heeds Pope Francis's call for all of us to be stewards of the earth. Through her passion for sustainability, participation in campus life, as you'll see, and her support as a resident advisor, Katie is inspiring the next generation of leaders through meaningful relationships. Take a look. It's a busy night on campus.
It's called Brownies with the Boys because it's the girls' wing combining with the boys' wing.
A social mixer with students from Dowling Hall. Resident advisor Katie McInnes handing out treats
Would you guys like to decorate one?
and words of wisdom.
Great. It's been something that has provided a lot of meaning to my life, and I know has provided a lot of meaning to my residents' lives.
For Katie, meaningful moments is what her journey at St. Thomas has been all about. The St. Thomas senior following in the footsteps of her mother, an alumni of the university.
I think I got the exact same ones. Yeah.
But this Tommy is paving her own path as an environmental science major.
She has embodied the mission of our department, which isn't just learning geology, but learning skills to be a successful professional and advance the common good.
We're going to revisit Gulf of California.
Dr. Lisa Lamb has known Katie since she was a freshman. The pair even teaming up to run the Sustainability LLC.
There's just people you meet that just move you. When I think about the Tommy mission, stewardship of the earth, caring for God's creation, she embodies that.
Katie lives that St. Thomas mission every day, pairing her love of science with her love of faith.
I'm a strong believer in a lot of what Pope Francis has had to say, that we're stewards of the earth, and so we have this moral responsibility to take care of it.
A steward on campus, the Jack Brownstein recipient also helped to develop and pass the Zero Waste Resolution. That work led to sustainable compost bins across campus and reusable to-go containers.
Being able to know what your sphere of influence is, influencing my residents, influencing the people around me with my choices has been something that gives back beyond what I can see.
But those around her can see her compassion for life and her commitment to serving others.
Katie inspires all of us, seeing her juggle her academic load with her volunteer work and her work as an RA, and just stay so even keel. I just find that very inspirational.
Help yourself.
Inspiring the next generation of students through meaningful relationships.
Having those one-on-one interactions and showing other people that I believe in them too, I think will inspire them to be leaders.
Creating a legacy not just on campus, but beyond the walls of St. Thomas too. You definitely inspire me. For best representing the ideas of our patron St. Thomas Aquinas, for your stewardship to the earth and compassionate connections in our community, please congratulate Katie McGinnis, our 2023 Tommy Award recipient. Congratulations, Katie. Thank you. Our next honoree, I'm sure many of you know her, have heard of her. She graced the airwaves here at KUST Campus Radio, which was only the beginning of using her voice to create impact far and wide. Georgia Fort, a 2011 business management graduate, called her college years the most difficult years of her life. She came to St. Thomas as a young mother and persevered through great loss with the unexpected death of her first child. Georgia pressed on, though, and she graduated for her family and for herself with a dream of owning her own radio station. And today, her reach is much greater. Into the ranks of history as an independent journalist, challenging and changing the media landscape.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm independent journalist Georgia Fort. We begin today.
I'm living my ancestors' wildest dreams right now.
In this week's Joyride, we introduce you to local musician Butchie Austin.
We launched a TV show. It is historic in that it's the first independently produced TV show that's hosted by a Black woman in the state of Minnesota. It's called Here's the Truth with Georgia Fort.
Hello, I'm so delighted to see you.
I first met Georgia when she and I were both on KMOJ Radio, Minnesota's oldest Black radio station. The day that her billboards debuted, my phone went crazy. People were like, did you see our Georgia Fort? She's on the corner here, she's on the corner there. They were taking pictures. I mean, you've got your episodes mapped out, your schedule.
It feels incredible. I have encountered a lot of adversity working in media here in Minnesota. And instead of giving up on my dream of telling stories, the public deserves to know that all the cases are not being reviewed.
That wasn't our intention to be misleading.
I created a different pathway for myself. I own my own media company called Black Press. As an independent journalist, to be one of two in the courtroom during the sentencing of Derek Chauvin was historic. That was a pivotal moment for me. If I could turn back the hands of time and speak to the Georgia who was a student at the University of St. Thomas, I would tell myself, it's gonna be okay. Keep moving forward.
The pride that people have in our community for Georgia and her work is the most gratifying because she has earned every bit of our love.
Minnesota has decided that there is a need for authentic storytelling from a Black perspective.
Oh my goodness. I think her daughters can look her in the eye and say she did everything she thought she could to speak truth on behalf of people who otherwise might not have been able to speak their own truth. It's priceless.
I'm serving my community every day. And if I don't get out of bed and I don't go tell the stories, those stories may not be told. Our history could be erased. We're changing the world one story at a time.
And I'll see you next Saturday at 11.
Georgia says, keep moving forward, and that's exactly what she's doing. Our very own Georgia Fort. Our Spirit of the St. Thomas Award recipient. Congratulations. Georgia, congratulations. Thank you. This next recipient is an incredible woman. Elizabeth Pathio's sights were set on an international impact long before she graduated in 2011. She majored in Russian, Central, and East European studies with a minor in political science, and St. Thomas prepared her for that global stage. Whether responding to the Indian Ocean tsunami, a catastrophic earthquake in Haiti, or leading humanitarian assistance during a civil war in Sri Lanka, working with United Nations in Kenya, and partnering with disaster management authorities across Latin America. For more than 2 decades, and with advanced degrees from Brandeis University and MIT, helping one person or a country in crisis, shaping policy and influencing global action, Elizabeth's inspiration is an act as a light in the darkness, a catalyst for change. Let's take a look.
If I wasn't doing this, I would be doing this. However I can affect change. That's my purpose, is how do I deliver impact that uplifts humanity globally? Who's with me on that mission?
Elizabeth Pathio believes the mission chose her.
Whether I'm in Sri Lanka or Haiti or Indonesia or India,
Her years on the ground responding to devastating disasters or shaping global policy working for the World Bank, government agencies, international organizations, and the private sector. All of her work fueled by a singular desire.
the common nature of our shared humanity.
People can say, can you really make a difference as one person? And Elizabeth is one of those people where she thinks about that one person, that one family, but she also thinks about what difference then she can make at a broader level. When we first met, she was working for the American Refugee Committee at the time. Elizabeth is one of those leaders where she can match her heart with a response.
Today, working for Miyamoto International, an engineering firm, Elizabeth's focus is building resilience in the face of disaster, acting as a catalyst for communities to rebuild better than before.
That's the critical piece, because once the disaster happens, then it's too late. The challenge is really doing the upstream work, the preparedness work, and that's what really builds the resilience in the face of a disaster. And these are human lives that we're talking about that have been fundamentally changed, upended. There's a lot of humility, but to be steady in the face of hope and providing that hope.
Elizabeth believes St. Thomas's mission for the common good paved the way to cultivate hope with opportunities that inspire to this day.
Madeleine Albright was the first woman Secretary of State that was quite influential in making my own decisions. And St. Thomas is a part of building that foundation.
It can't just be an intellectual challenge for her. It has to make a difference in people's lives.
Elizabeth reminds us we all have a humanitarian mission within reach.
The challenges are big. They're going to continue to be there. But I know that the change that we're looking for is possible. So we must continue.
Elizabeth, you asked, who is with you? We're with you. Again, it takes one person to spark change, and you are doing it. Please come up onto the stage as we congratulate you as the 2023 recipient of the Humanitarian Award. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Thank you. Thank you. Are you not inspired? I'm so inspired. These people are just incredible. Yes, just incredible. And we're not done yet. We're not finished yet. We have more people to bring up here. This next recipient, Dr. Paula Ermintrout, has dedicated her life to shaping students. Teachers are so important. Educators are so important. She's focused on creating a better, more inclusive future for all. Many of you probably see her on campus, but what I found so interesting was what she does in her classrooms. She has a solid foundation built on her Argentinian family's legacy of education and offering what she calls a brave space in her classroom where students are encouraged to engage without fear, to spark conversation without concerns or worries, to feel included and to feel heard. Endowed Chair in the Humanities, Director of Women, Gender and Sexuality Studies, and an Associate Professor of Spanish, Paula equips students with tools that inspire and drive diversity and inclusion while positively influencing tomorrow's business community. Take a watch.
Pottery is about possibilities for Paola Ermintrout.
Everyone here is allowed the space to make those mistakes.
No fear here, just the evolving touch of someone who also shapes lives.
A commitment to learning a language and learning it well, it's decades sometimes. Wow, muy bien.
Dr. Ermintrout, an associate professor of Spanish, has molded a no-fear zone in her St. Thomas classes.
If the atmosphere in the classroom is like, oh, we're all together here, we're gonna have fun today, we're just gonna try things and they're gonna sound funny, but that's okay, you will get better.
Balancear.
Balancear, sí.
Beyond teaching in modern and classical languages, she directs women, gender, and sexuality studies. Along the way, inspiring student engagement.
I've heard the term brave space instead of safe space, so it makes you very comfortable enough to speak out and actually really get your point across.
Generational inspiration led Ermintrout to teaching. Growing up in Cordoba, Argentina, her mother was and is a university professor.
My grandpa and my grandma pushed so hard for these girls to go to university before they got married. That wasn't the common path for Argentinian women back then.
Ermintrout's higher education path has been the avenue of the saints. Graduate work at St. Louis's Washington University to St. Paul's St. Thomas.
We were crossing our fingers that we would get her because she right away we could see that she was a colleague.
It made me feel that I have found, my people.
Her pursuit of a better community recently made headlines in USA Today. St. Thomas's new master's degree in diversity leadership, which she helped create and will direct.
Everything she does, even in her personal life, is fitting into this idea and this objective of creating more inclusion and diversity in our community.
Ermintrout's creative touch on the master's program will help shape those who will shape tomorrow's business community.
We are hoping that we're going to give them the tools to do the work that needs to be done in the long term.
Innovation and passion for the community and teaching. No wonder Dr. Paola Ermintrout is St. Thomas's 2023 Professor of the Year.
I believe in education 100%.
For your excellence in teaching, scholarship and service, and your dedication to diversity and inclusion, Dr. Paula Ermintrout, the 2023 Professor of the Year. Congratulations, Dr. Ermintrout. Thank you. Our next award recipient, maybe one of our area's most prolific real estate developers. Architecture that you've probably seen all across the Twin Cities but just never knew, because you will never see his name on a building that he builds. His work has changed communities and has made them more strong and more beautiful. Luigi Bernardi, a 1985 business and financial management major who went on to also get his MBA from St. Thomas as well, is inspired by building a legacy, making our communities feel like a home that his family once searched for. Let's watch.
A second-generation real estate developer, Luigi Bernardi is quick to honor the footsteps that came first.
The one thing I really appreciated my dad is the way he negotiated with people, and that's just a gift.
His late father, an Italian immigrant who landed in Edina, Minnesota, with a vision.
Driving along Highway 100 back then, and he saw this big piece of land, 300 acres, and he says, wow, this America here is a gold mine now. So it's what everybody dreams of. So that's how it all started.
It's exciting to see something finally, after hard work, a lot of years, start evolving like this.
Over the decades, the Bernardi family turned opportunity into community. Whether creating senior housing, apartment buildings, or office and medical parks, elegant landmarks grounded by a signature humility.
And as I think one of the most significant owners of real estate in the Twin Cities, in a very quiet way. He doesn't bring any attention to himself personally.
But boy, don't let it fool you. That mind is turning a mile a minute, I'll tell you. He's just, things are cooking. he's dreaming.
And Luigi's entrepreneurial spirit elevated a family dream. 11 condos in downtown Minneapolis is his latest luxury feat, soaring 42 stories above the Mississippi River.
It was his vision. It's phenomenal. The contribution we've made to Minneapolis with that project is the most significant from an architectural and a community standpoint of any project we've ever done.
As the joint venture partner in 11, Pat Ryan of Ryan Companies witnessed Luigi's persistence as a force greater than brick and mortar.
And in Luigi's eyes, the success is the human success.
At St. Thomas, too, where generosity is part of his DNA.
There's so much about the St. Thomas mission that is reflective of his own heart.
Luigi and his late wife supported a bride and groom suite in the Iverson Center for Faith. His parents' gifts helped create the St. Thomas Bernardi campus in Rome. For Luigi, the guiding light is still legacy, lasting lessons from his dad.
There's so many things I learned from him. Never be afraid to ask questions. Reach out to people that know more than you, that have experience.
From the landscape of education, or the cityscapes defining our communities, Luigi is a silent developer whose work speaks for itself, his own imprint, inspiring generations to come.
Whatever he's working on, whatever he's giving to, it's about something bigger than himself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your vision and for providing the building blocks to teach us what we need to do to build a community. Thank you so much. Our 2023 distinguished alumni. Congratulations, Luigi Bernardi. Thank you. Our last honoree is quite a guy. When this first honoree came to St. Thomas, it was not yet a university, instead an all-boys college. The football team was Division III and World War II was underway. He is a role model to all of us in every way. Tom Paschal, a 1950 graduate who majored in biology, is still, listen to this, a front row fixture at all of the football games and basketball games here at St. Thomas. His dedication spans more than 7 decades, and as you will see, he finds inspiration in the long game. Let's watch.
Are you aware of anybody older than you, Dad?
I think I'm about
one of the few survivors.
Okay.
Just turned 96. My secret, enjoying life.
As honorary captain,
Tom, this is Dan.
For St. Thomas's first Division I home football game, Tom Paschal continues to inspire in his 72 years as a St. Thomas alumnus, enjoying each milestone unfolding before him.
If you want perspective, you need a long horizon. Our oldest living football alum, who played his last game in 1949, should give you a pretty good horizon.
Tom first set his sights on St. Thomas in 1944, only to leave college and serve with the Navy in World War II. When he returned to campus and football, he led a championship team towards history.
It wasn't the Rose Bowl. It was a bowl. A lot of fun.
Remember this guy?
For decades, the Cigar Bowl team reminisced at regular reunions. An iconic photo captures the spirit of a team.
I'm here.
And it's still inspiring, a lesson Coach Glenn Caruso shares with his players today.
And I put the picture up on the Jumbotron of him with his boys, and he started crying. And as the tear rolled down his beaten and battered cheeks, I thought about what a great demonstration of the depth of connection that this sport, this program, and this school is able to carry to move the emotions of a 90-plus-year-old man to tears.
I've had so many good memories there, not only athletically, but academically.
As a retired high school chemistry teacher, Tom now devotes his time, talents, and treasures to supporting his alma mater.
So why do you do that, Dad?
Because of the fact that I think education is important.
He's always pretty much got a positive attitude. It feels good, I think, for him.
Yeah.
And for us, it feels good.
Awesome job, come on.
So many moments carry us to the horizon, from the football field to the battlefield. Tom shows us to honor the seasons that define us.
Appreciate all you do, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you.
That only good can come when you leave your heart on the 50-yard line.
It's been a great run. I just enjoy it.
Thank you so much for inspiring us and for sharing your secret to enjoy life. For his unparalleled commitment to St. Thomas's education and athletics for 3/4 of a century, please help me congratulate Tom Paschal, the 2023 recipient of the Monsignor James Lavin Award. Yes. Thank you so much, Tom. What an inspiration you are to all of us. A huge congratulations to all of our honorees. Please help me join in celebrating them once again. Wow. We'd also like to take this moment to honor our past honorees. I'm going to read all 500 plus names right now. I'm just joking. It's listed in your programs, but it just goes to show how many incredible people inspire the community and, again, through the mission of St. Thomas every day. We want to celebrate present honorees, and of course, we want to celebrate the future, because that's so important too, and to know that we can all spark change in our lives every day. Before we bring this evening to a close, you are all invited for a very special event to participate in President Vischer's inauguration on May 12th. All of yes. Everyone is invited and encouraged to attend, either in person or by watching live stream. You can find the inauguration information on our website. We would also love to continue this season's celebrations with all of you, so we really hope that you'll join us for that event. Now, whether it's the work that is our legacy, or the impact we are already making, or the potential yet to be unlocked, we hope that you leave tonight with just a little bit of spark in your hearts to know that you can make a difference. As of course Elizabeth taught us, that all it takes is one person to make a change and to spark change and to make a difference and an impact in your lives. All of our honorees demonstrated that for us tonight. As morally responsible leaders who think critically, act wisely, and work skillfully to advance the common good, you, all of you, our St. Thomas community, you inspire us today and always. Now, a quick reminder to our award winners, if we can have them all come back on stage, we want one more photo with all of you. If you can please rise and come back up to the stage. We want to honor you one more time. All 6. Yeah. Sure, yes, bring your awards. Bring your awards. Thank you. I never got to hug you. I was reading this script. Come and get your photo. Your 2023 honorees. Congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great night. Thank you so much.